Hello everybody, it's Jean Marie. So this is project number 4 of the May 2024 Bargain Bead Box. And this is essentially my design plan. I did have to switch to these spacer beads from my own stash because this is all I have left of these is just 2. So it's not enough to make anything with. Maybe a pair of earrings or something, but that's about it. So I do have those in here. I have a little package of jump rings, and I have some chain because I've used all my chain up. So this is just some gold tone Rolo chain that I'm going to be using. I do have these little teardrop metal frames. These came from Amazon. They were a mixed bag of sizes and shapes. They had circle, they had the teardrop, they had square, and they are a nice solid frame. There is no hole, they're just a frame, but they're really nice, and the gold matched very well as well. So this is my attempt at using some of my orange bicones, which I really was very hesitant to do because I don't work well with orange. But I'm going to put it in, and I think it's going to look okay. I think I can make it work. So these are the earrings over here, and I'm just going to move that stuff out of the way for the most part so we can concentrate on the necklace. So my thought is to add all kinds of clusters from the bottom of this teardrop, which I'm going to start with first. I do have some of them already on ball head pins, not all of them, so I do need to get some more of those out. And of course I just dumped everything. Why wouldn't I? There's a few more here. I don't need that eye pin in there, and I don't need that flat head pin in there. All right. So I do have one more project after this one, and then I will be done with my May Bargain Bead Box, I think. And it is another necklace and earring set, but it's using those little flat disc beads. These little hexagon cut beads is going to be in my next project. And so I'm going to get this hair off here first. I'm going to get out my frame. I'm going to get all my little dangly bits. Because Rolo chain does open, I'm just going to go ahead and do all of my pieces as my brain does not want to work this morning. Sorry. As a solid piece. I'm not going to like link them to the chain as I make them, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Oh boy. This is what happens when you get home at midnight and you get 4 hours sleep. Okay, so we're just going to do wrapped loops on all of them, just like this. Give them a trim. And because I have so many of these to do, I'm going to do them all off camera, and then I will come back and we will assemble, because this is a lot of wrapped loops and it's going to take a little bit of time. But essentially I just want to do all these up. I'm going to do all of these ones for the necklace that I've got laid out here. I'm going to do all of these ones for the necklace, and I'm going to do the earring ones, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have all of these clustered up, wrapped up, my clusters here. I did cut a couple pieces of my chain while I was off camera here for a minute. So I've got 3 varying lengths. I didn't really measure them out or anything. I just chopped off 3 different lengths. So that's going to go hanging from here with the little clusters on it. I have decided that I want one of these crystals on the end of each chain because I had very few of them left, but I actually had just enough to put at the end of a few of the chains. So, and I did organize these. Now I'm sure you've noticed that I have these smaller beads in here. I picked these out of my own stash. They're just a little pink and red bicone that matched the beads really well, just to give me some small beads for the cluster. So I like those a lot, and they match really, really nicely. So that is something to add to it if you want to. So the first thing I'm going to do is just open up the very last link. If I can find the end. There it is. On each one of my chains, let me get the right tools here. I'm just going to open it like a jump ring. I'm going to feed on my little sparkly bead. So each one of these and these closures on these little links are hard to see. So there's 2 of them. And throwing stuff around. Come on now, get on there. Just need to get my pliers out of the way. It would help. I love these beads. I think they're so, so pretty. I did just order 2 more packages of them from the sister store now that the extras are in the store. Alright, and there's not going to be any rhyme or reason to the way I put the colors onto this. I am going to skip one link, the one I opened to add that to, clearly. I mean, otherwise it would be hanging at the end there with it. Try to find the opening here. And if you're using the chain from the box with the bigger sections, you could do this by wiring that loop right onto it, or you could choose to use some little tiny jump rings. Either way, I cannot find the opening on this one for some reason. See it. Let's see it. Okay, so I'm just going to add one on, and probably going about this much harder than I need to be, but I'm going to take this link off for a second. Put that one on. So it starts to build the cluster, and in between each of these I'm going to skip one link And this is my shortest chain, so it's not going to have as many anyway. And as these little links, little clusters start to build, it gets a little harder to get in there. And let's work in an orange one. And honestly, I don't know how many little dangly pieces I made. I just wrapped until I ran out of head pins. So I may have quite a few more than I really need, but that's okay. They'll get used for something. I'm thinking maybe a very nicely clustered bracelet would be really cute with this. So that might be what I use extras up on after I get some more ball head pins. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for this one. This is my shortest. So let's go to the next one. Skip up to the next bead. Blink. I've noticed a couple of these links are kind of connected. I think the finish that they put on it hadn't dried or something, and it caused them to kind of stick. Kind of like beads will sometimes on a strand. You have to break them apart. Okay, we'll start with an orange one this time. Skip this one, go up to this one. See, they're stuck. There we go. Gotta break it loose a little bit. This chain came from Walmart, so that's probably why. Alright, I'm gonna take that one off first this time. Apparently I'm holding this different than I did the other one, because last time I didn't have to do it that way, but it doesn't really matter, I guess. Let me see. Seem to have a lot more pink than anything else, so. Oh, it's looking really cute. Oops. So I think I can get one more on here, one more little cluster. Maybe I can hold this right. Put it right in this one. happening, but I guess it isn't. What color do I want now? Nope. Getting tricky now. There we go. Get a nice little bead cluster to put with this one. That's going to be really pretty. Alright. I think this is the longest piece, or was that one? Not sure. No, this one is definitely the longest one. Chain off for a minute, feed on my link, put the chain back on, put on another piece, close that one up, skip one right there, go up to the next one. It's closed nicely, which is awesome, but boy, it's hard to find the end. I think that might be it. Nope. Yeah, it is. Okay. Good. If I could get it to open up. Oh, dang. There we go. Put on a pink. Put my chain back on. Put on a red. I thought I was going to have too many like dangles, but I think I'm going to use every single one of them up. Okay, now I'm going to skip that one, go to this one. Put on another red. Put my chain back on. Put on an orange. This would definitely be easier if you're using a chain with a bigger link to it. The ones that came in the box with that nice long oval link would be really easier to use with it, but I do like the look of this. It's just a little more work. But I think in the end it's going to look really pretty, so I'm okay with the little work. It's just finding the opening. That I'm struggling with. I think that might be it. Nope. I found it, but it was at the bottom. Alright, I'm going to put on the pink one. Dang it. Of course, I'm almost done with these, so it's going to start giving me a problem. Alright, we'll put on another pink one. The rest of my chain. And I'll do a red, and that leaves me with an orange and a red left, and that just might be enough. If not, I'm going to have to dig and see if I can find a couple of more ball head pins laying around. I think it'll be alright though. Oh, look at that. I found that one right off the bat. Alright, put on the red. Put on the chain. Put on the orange one. So I think that'll be fine. I think that's plenty. So I'm going to take this bigger jump ring. I think it's a 6, no, it's probably an 8mm. 6mm would probably be better, but I don't think I have any at the moment. Actually, I might have lied. I think I have one in this one I've got laid out over here. I do. Perfect. Alright, so I want to put on probably the shortest one first. Then my long one. And then the next long one. So I can find the last little link. And I'm just going to feed on my hoop. Oh no! Did I lose them all? Ah, just one. Feed on my hoop. Okay, and this is what I've got so far. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. So that's what we've got. So to top it, I'm going to take an eye pin. And feed the other end on. Close that up. And take this one little pink bead here. So now I've got this. Bend it back. Cut it. I'm going to cut that a little too short and have a very tiny loop. Didn't leave myself much to work with. Yeah, that's okay. Looks fine. So there's that part so far. So I think I'm just going to put it right on bead string and wire. And I have this kind of a gold tone one. This came in a pack of 10 from Amazon. It was all mixed colors. A little bit more, I guess. Not gonna hurt anything. Tie the end just so I can keep it from sliding everything off. And I did dig out these little daisy spacer beads. These are from the sister store. They're 1317. They're a tiny little daisy spacer bead. I did use those in my last project as well. I just wanted something to break up the color in between these pinks. Also, I wanted to show you the number on these little pink beads that I've used in my dangles are 0320, and the red bicones are 2106 crystal bicone in vivid red AB. So those are the ones I used. Alright, so I'm going to start with a daisy spacer, one of my pink beads, another daisy spacer, another one of the pink, a daisy spacer, the larger English cut, the red, daisy spacer, whoop, daisy spacer, pink bead, and then we're back to the end of this little series here. And I'm not going to put a daisy spacer there because I'm going to use the bumpy spacer in between the next section. So it'll be the bumpy spacer, and then I'll start the whole thing over again with the pink beads, daisy spacer, pink bead, and I may end up deciding to take the daisy spacer off the very end up there. I'm not sure. It depends when I'm done with this portion of it, how I like the look of it. So again, this is only somewhat thought out, so oops, get back here. Alright, so this is what I have so far. Move those out of the way. I think I probably will eliminate that daisy spacer there, the one I started with. I'll eliminate that in a bit. So now I've come to this point. This is where I'm going to start adding in my little dangles. So I do want to get out my little 4mm jump rings, and put on 2 of my little dangles here. I did do mine in a color palette way, some sort of, that makes sense. I did orange red, pink red, orange crystal, and then I did orange crystal, and I think I have an extra one. Oh, that, I don't know where that came from. Maybe it goes over there, or maybe I just mixed it up in there by mistake. But anyway, orange crystal, red pink, red orange. So it's the same pattern going back and forth, if that makes sense at all, because it didn't make a bit of sense to me. I know what I'm trying to say. Alright, so I've got red, orange, these jump rings do not like to close well. So I want to make sure I have a good closure on it so it doesn't slip off my bead string and wire. let's just bead that right on. And then I'm going to put on another one of those little bumpy spacer beads. So there'll be two. The dangles will hang in between them. And then the Dragon Vein agate. I'll try to find one of these that's not in as bad a shape as that last one. So there, I just trimmed a little of it off so it'll close better. So this time I'm doing pink, red, I think a piece of chain at about 7 inches, just covered with all these little dangles, would be so pretty. It'd be very, very, oops, you know what I did? I didn't put that other one on. It would be like a pretty little cha-cha, shaky, bangly, really pretty bracelet. There we go. Now one of these, and the second one of these. So this time I'm doing an orange and a crystal. That orange is a spare, evidently. I'm going to have to trim every single one of these jump rings, evidently. Keep getting ahead of myself. Now at this point I'm going to hang on my little pendant piece here. So this is what we've got so far. It's looking really cute. I guess it's okay. As I say, I think I need something in here, but I think it's going to pull together just fine. Alright, so now I'm just going to continue that on to the other side. So another agate. That piece went flying. So now the repeat of the dangles going back the opposite way with the crystal and the orange. Get a good close on that. Again, the red and the pink, just like on the opposite side. So I have managed to work my orange bicones into a project, which is something I said in the very first tutorial that I didn't think I would even do. So I'm pretty happy with the way it looks. I think it's kind of pretty. I think once it's all hanging and the dangles are all clustered up, it's going to look really, really nice. I had it drawn out on paper and I thought it was going to look really good that way, so let's see how it turns out. Alright, We'll need one more of these, so we'll get those out of the way. Trim the last one. Now the orange and the red. And you definitely do not have to make your two sides the same. You can do it totally random. You can do it any way you want to do it. And I totally ruined this jump ring, I think. Let's see if we can get it to close. I think it's okay. So now we're back to this pattern of pink beads and so we get the two small, get the bigger red, again the two small pink, and the bumpy spacer, and another, oh, it is the pink. It didn't look pink. Wish there had been more of the original spacer beads from this in the bag. I used those up really quick. My first project, they were gone. Oh, but those two. Fumble fingers here. I do like these little spacer beads in it though, these little daisy spacer beads. They're just perfect for giving it a little pop of color. There! That is the finished necklace. Oh, I think that is so pretty. I really like it. Alright, we're going to now take off that one I didn't want. Tie it back off so I don't lose everything, because I will. I know me. Take out a couple of clamshells and find my... What did I do with those? We definitely need them. Where are they? Right there. The little crimp beads. Maybe I'll use this at the end of the chain in the back as a little chain dangle in the back. Might as well. I've already got it made up. It's the only one left. So I'm going to bead on my clamshell here. Squish on my little crimp bead. Put on a second one. Give that a little trim. Close that up. And move on to the other end. So I'm going to open this one up so we can get in there with our pliers. Put on the crimp bead. Whoop. Or fling it in the stratosphere, whichever. Let gravity pull it down. Get in there and smush it. Put on another one. This just gives you a little added security with your crimp beads. Should one fail, you have a second one for added security there. Trim that off. And So it's your clamshell over it. Yep, your clamshell over it. Gosh, I think that's really pretty. Yep. Well, I guess your teardrop can go either way because it does free float. Okay, now I just want to attach some chain. Again, try to find a couple small jump. I guess I'm going to have to use those same little jump rings I've got out. So these are so small they'll blend really well with the small chain. Those tiny links. But I do have to trim it again. So what I like to do, and I know some of you have already seen me do this, I like to just attach one end of my chain. Make sure that's closed, I guess. Attach one end of my chain, and then I just bring it around my neck. See how far down I want everything to hang before I determine how much chain I want. So this chain is going to be about where that has a lot of dangle to it. I don't want it to hang too far down. So it's going to be about a 9-inch piece of chain. Okay. Get that out of my way. So fold it in half. And I was fortunate enough to come out with one odd one, so all I have to do is take that one out. Yeah. So now I want to, now I've got all my beads from my earrings smacked all over the place. I want to use a lobster on this. And a larger ring. And I want, I'm going to add this to it. And I think I'll take about, take about 6 links here, I think. 6 or 7? No, I'm not going to count them out. It's just about a little over an inch. I could get it apart. Come on. Get off there. Get off there. It doesn't want to separate for me. Alright, I'm just going to cut it. There. I'm going to open up this bottom one. And just add that little dangle to it. And get out that little ring to add my lobster to. And the earrings are very, very simple. Although there is a lot of adding cluster to chain again, like we just did on this one, so that is a little bit time consuming on that portion of it. There. And there is the finished necklace. I think it looks really pretty. Where are we at time-wise? Okay. I'm going to do the earring chain the same way I did these clusters, but we're already at quarter of, so I don't want to spend another half an hour linking everything to chains like I did here. It's the exact same process. And then I'll show you how to put the earrings together. Actually, I just came back on because I wanted to go over cutting the chain piece for this. I'm going to cut, I think I'm just going to fold it in half and cut one just a smidge longer than the other. So let's see what we've got for chain here. Get that open link off in it. There we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I have 17 links. So one of them will be the link that I will attach to yep. I had to trim that. Sorry. I'm just going to go in and hook one of them so that they're hanging offset from each other, and I'm going to hook it right to my wire frame here. And this is how I'm going to attach them, and then I'm just going to start attaching my little clusters down it, and then I will return. So I have one already done up here. Thought I'd come back on and finish this one with you. I'm just going to do the short section of this chain with these few remaining dangle pieces. So again, I'm going to open up the end one, and I did this on both sections of my chain. So both ends technically would have the little shiny one here. And find the end of it. Oops, I think I distorted that. I don't think I twisted it very well at all. Let's see if I can fix it. Yeah, I think it's going to be fine, actually. Maybe. Not so sure. There, got it together good. Alright, I wasn't sure I was going to get that back together. So there's my short section of chain. So I have 4 more little links to put on it. So again, I'm just doing the same thing I did for the necklace one. The only difference is it is already attached to the frame, because instead of cutting 3 sections of chain, or in this case 2 sections of chain, I cut one 17-inch piece and just put the jump ring through one of the mid links. And this one does not want to open. think I found it. Well, I had it. Now I've dropped it. Okay, so that's alright. We'll just put on one of these. Grab that. Find the end of my chain again. This is kind of why I wanted to come on and show you guys, because it is a little bit of a process, so I wanted you to be able to see it. Wouldn't be quite as much of a process if my fingers would cooperate with me today. There. And I guess we'll put on a red one, why not? Oh man. No. No, no. Okay, looks like I need to put the red one over on this side. Find that empty link again. Try not to drop it this time. There. And then I'm going to go up to this one. Check and see if that's the end. Ah, found it. I have to say, this is a really good chain. Very strong. The links are sealed pretty nicely. It's really hard to find the opening. So yeah, it's a pretty good chain. So I'm going to bead on one more of those. Again, find the end of my chain here and put it back on. Bead on my other dangly. And close it up. And I am all set with that part of the earrings. Now I know not everybody's going to have these little loops, these little teardrop frames, but you can always use, if you get a package of toggles, use the toggle link. That'll work just as well. You grab 3 of your toggle rings and you'll actually already have a loop at the top for attaching on one of those, so all you have to do is hang your cluster off in the inside of it. That will work. That'll work just as well. So again, just like I did on the pendant, I'm going to hook this onto an eye pin and close it shut. And I'm going to feed on one of the pink beads, a daisy spacer, one of the crackled agate or dragon vein agate, whatever you want to call it, another daisy spacer, and I did not get out enough of those. Do I have enough? Or did I not have any more? That's why I didn't have any more. I'm all out of them. So let's change that up a little bit. Let's put on a daisy spacer, a crackled agate, dragon vein agate, whatever, and another daisy spacer, and then the pink. And that's what the earring will look like. So I'll do this one the same. Bead it on. Close that. Grab a couple of these. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now I'm going to need this to hang try to bend my loop so it goes the opposite way of the one at the bottom, but it doesn't always happen to come out quite right. Sometimes I have to retwist them, but to add a ear wire to it, they have to be offset. Unless you're doing a post one, and then they would be in the same direction. Alright, let's see if we got it offset enough. It was close. Not completely though. There. I think. Is that right? I don't know. Still doesn't really look right. Okay. There we go. That's better. So that's what our cluster earring will look like. Do earring number 2. And let me find some ear wires. My messy box of stuff. I really need to do some organizing around here. 1 and 2. These are for sure some long earrings. But big, bold jewelry is actually very in style right now. Chunky, bold, yeah, minimalist jewelry is really going out, which is my favorite. I prefer minimalist, but that is a pair of earrings right there. But boy, isn't that pretty. And I used my orange. I'm so proud of myself. Alright, I'm going to put this on a form and show it to y'all. Okay, so here we have it all on the form. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I really like this. I didn't think I would like orange in anything, and I absolutely love this. I think it came out so pretty. So here's a close-up look of the focal section. I'll pan up. So pretty. And our large and in charge earrings. So thank you for joining me, guys. This is the Bargain Bead Box. If you haven't heard of the Bargain Bead Box or are not a subscriber to the Bargain Bead Box, check out my link in my YouTube information section, and you can join the Bargain Bead Box and save $2 if you use my coupon code SHAR2. Yeah, check out some of my other videos. There's a lot more information in some of those. I'm not going to go through it all today. I'm tired and I'm going to go take a nap. But anyways, thank you guys. I really appreciate you joining me. Love you all. Bye.